Okay, good. So let's get right into it. Attorney Walter Hnot here, the most viewed, subscribed to, and clicked on disability attorney in America. Let's get right to what this show is about. This show is a little bit different than the usual shows we do, which is where I go ahead and basically answer questions for free from anybody that wants to call in. Now, this is different than most attorneys do it. In fact, I don't know any of the other attorney that takes live calls and answers them live right, during the actual live YouTube show. So, because it's quite dangerous for attorneys, because it's like to know the information, take the live question, and then try to figure it out on the spot. It is tricky to do that. So, with that said, Attorney Walter Hnot, I'm going to go ahead and try to answer questions as they come in, but there are some basic rules. When you call in, use a fake name, right? Use a fake name. That way, other people don't know who you are. Another thing, don't question stack. You get one question, maybe two questions, but not more than that. Number 3, have your legal question ready right up front. No story mode. Don't go into story mode. Have your legal question ready right up front. You get about 5 to 7 minutes to go ahead and tell me your question, and I'll answer it and things like that. Now, if you need more time, if you need me to figure out something bigger, I do have a 30-minute option and a 1-hour option in the bio link below, where you can go ahead and download the mini contract, and then basically we'll go ahead and work, and I'll go through the details of it. Now, with that said, I'm going to give you the phone number real quick. I see Kosher's put it up there, which is awesome. It is 407-279-1754. Again, 407-279-1754. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set the phone up right now to go ahead and receive calls, and then we can go ahead and begin the process. But please remember, use a fake name. You get 5 to 7 minutes. Also, no, stacking of the questions. Don't go into story mode, and we'll rock and roll from there. Okay, so we are good. First caller's coming in. Boop. There we go. Speakerphone is on. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
Oh, I was wondering, my name's Alfonso. Fake name, sorry.
Sure.
If we run into trouble in a hypothetical situation with a OIG or SSA, can we hire an attorney that's not a disability attorney, or does it have to be a disability attorney?
So here's the thing. When OIG begins investigating you, you kind of need 2 attorneys. You need a disability attorney to make sure that you get on track the stuff that you should have had on track, and you need a criminal law attorney to basically figure out what your defenses are going to be when they come down on you. So I get a lot of those 1-hour consultations where people hire me to basically figure out what their plan of attack should be for defenses, but also how to properly build out their claim to make sure that they're doing a little bit better when it comes to the investigation situation. And I also kind of tell the person the types of evidence they normally look for, types of investigative techniques they use, and trial techniques that they use when it comes to prosecution. But do you want to give me a little bit more of a fact pattern as to why there's a potential investigation?
Like I said, it's strictly a hypothetical investigation. They have followed me around before or whatever, but I have no immediate reason at the moment to think they're doing so right now. I'm just, thinking ahead.
Sure.
Something does hypothetically happen.
Yeah. So in that case, basically 2 types of attorney: disability and or criminal. But remember, not all investigations equate to essentially, putting it very simply, a criminal investigation with criminal charges. Some of them are just administrative punishments or civil punishments.
All right. Thank you.
Absolutely good, sir. You have a wonderful, wonderful day, okay?
You too.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Perfect. That is our first caller. We're going to do about 30 minutes worth of calls. And then basically tomorrow we'll probably do some more. Normally I go live Mondays and Thursdays to answer questions for free, but then sometimes something will happen in the schedule. With that said, if I do help you out, please consider going to Google and typing in disability resolution law firm or disability resolution Florida and throw some stars up there on the company page. All right, next caller. Speaker is on. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
Just wanted some general advice. Here's my situation. I've had pulmonary embolism episodes twice in the last 4 years and have come close to dying. And I've got like blood clots and neuropathy in my legs, and I've got scarring in my heart and my lungs.
Sure.
And I've got congenital defects in like my back.
Mhm.
And I started the process here last February. I got declined right away. Like that's just the way they operate. I've been appealing it.
Okay.
And they've had like multiple times where they wanted x-rays of my back, and I've got another appointment. They're looking at I'm suffering from mental decline as well, so I've got like an appointment coming up.
Sure.
But my basic difficulty is I have multiple factors that are involved here. It's not like I had an injury and I'm just like, it's one simple thing. It's the combination of 4 or 5 factors, and I'm just curious what your thoughts are on that.
Give me a more specific question, because that's very, very generalized. Go ahead. Yeah.
I mean, I guess based on your history representing people, are these types of cases where you have multiple factors that have to be taken into account? Are those generally declined all the way that you have to go before a judge, or is there a way to impress this upon the investigators to make them understand that you're truly disabled?
With your top 5 list of impairments, I've seen them go through at the initial filing level. It is not the policy to deny claims twice. It just seems like that happens a lot, and that's because usually people don't have developed medical evidence. They don't always get an attorney up front, and then it can kind of like lengthen out the process because they don't know what to file, when to file, what to request, what to send in. So what I would say is this. Okay, what would you say is your most severe impairment out of all of them?
The neuropathy in my legs. It's like I literally can't sit or stand for more than half an hour with my legs going completely numb. So it's pretty tough to have. I've been a software developer for 25 years, but I can't do that anymore. I just can't sit for 8 hours a day. I've tried working like fast food and working at grocery stores and, stepping down just to get a job, but I can't handle being on my feet that long either.
Okay. So let me ask you this. When it comes to, basically your legs, what's the future medical treatment? Are we looking at therapy? Are we looking at surgery? What's going on?
I'm basically going to have to live with it the rest of my life. I'm on blood thinners. I'm on blood pressure medicine. So right now I'm without insurance.
Okay, gotcha. So let me ask you this. When was the last time you were in the emergency room for the leg issue?
It was a year. Well, I was in the hospital. It was for the emboli in my lungs. The last time was a year ago, January.
Okay. So talk to me, like, have they prescribed you a walker with a seat? Have they prescribed you a 4-prong cane? Have they prescribed you shower stools, shower chairs? What are they medical devices? Walk me through it.
There right now I can get, because I can, as long as I can rest my legs, I'm pretty good just being able to get up and walk around. But like I said, if it goes more than like half an hour, then my legs go numb. So they've told me that I'm going to need a cane and probably a walker at some point in time. And I've already bought a cane just for that eventuality.
Okay, gotcha. So there's no prescription for the cane. You bought the cane yourself.
They didn't give a prescription. They just said I was going to need one at some point.
Talk to me about medication. What kind of medication do they have you on for it?
I'm on Eliquis, and I can't remember all the names right off the bat, but two blood thinners, one's for blood pressure medicine, and the 4th one, I can't remember exactly what that's for right now.
When was the last time you worked over the table?
Like programming?
Like, payroll-based job.
When I went in the hospital a year ago, January.
Okay, so all right. So when it comes to, I'm assuming you don't have a pain specialist right now, right?
No, not really.
And you don't have
I've got a cardiologist.
Okay,
I've got a
cardiologist.
cardiologist and a vascular surgeon.
Okay. And I'm assuming, just to be clear, you don't have, for example, a sleep study done. You don't have. Oh, what about? Okay, so sleep study. You have a sleep study done or no?
Yeah, I've had a sleep study done.
Okay. What did the sleep study show?
I have like sleep apnea,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm leery about wearing those masks at night. There's been evidence in the literature that you can actually increase your chance of stroke wearing those things. So I just go without.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So what your claim is kind of suffering from, and I mean, I know you're appealing into reconsideration at this point, is direction as to like what you need to actually get approved. What is your take on what you believe you need to be approved?
Well, I've had 2 separate medical examinations, and the woman that did them is adamant that I should be approved. She's was frankly shocked that I got turned down the first time.
Mm-hmm.
So from that medical perspective, I'm wondering if I'm just up against institutional inertia, I guess. And I had a mental exam just over the internet, and I'm suffering from some mental decline. My father had like early onset dementia at about the age I'm at now, so this isn't totally surprising. But I can tell I'm slowed down mentally, and so they requested that I take another set of tests for the mental aspects of this as well. I've got that scheduled for sometime in October.
Okay, so we got cognitive decline. You did your CE video to go ahead and get your assessment. So here's kind of the thing: you've got to do certain things to get a claim like this through. What is your current age, though?
I'm 61.
You're 61. This is not a hard claim, and I can't promise anything, but for a claim like this, it's not usually a hard claim for me to win. So, and real quick, any drugs, alcohol, smoking, cigarettes, stuff like that?
No drugs, nothing. I don't drink alcohol.
Okay. All right. So what are we at? We're at 8 minutes. Give me a call tomorrow and we'll talk further about what's required, what needs to be done, all that stuff. Because your goal is to get a win as quickly as possible. Go back to retroactive benefits to January when you stopped working. I'm not sure exactly when you filed, but you've got to basically get on this program before you take retirement benefits. So you get to ride it to full retirement and get a boost for not having those extra years turn into zeros on the chart for earnings. So,
exactly.
All right, give me a call tomorrow. I have to do 2 of those private sessions where people paid to do like an hour spiel. But give me a call tomorrow and we'll talk about what's good with the claim, what's bad with the claim, and what can be improved.
So this is pro bono at this point?
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. Since we're on the phone, yeah. This is all this us talking right now. It's all pro bono. I don't charge anybody.
Yeah, but I'm talking about tomorrow.
Yeah, we can still talk, but like keep in mind, like this is definitely like a law firm would have to like take over the claim, figure it out, kind of spiel, and go from there. It would be one of those. It would be where you don't really pay us in the end. Once you're found disabled, they pay us directly from back pay. So some people don't realize that, like how it works. They think that essentially the lawyers get paid by the claimant. The claimants don't pay us. The SSA pays us from the back pay. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
Okay. Just call this same number.
Yeah. Same number. If you don't get me and you get back office, just let them know to shoot me a text message. And then once I'm out of one of those private sessions, I'll give you a call and we'll kind of get the ball rolling. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, good sir. I'll catch you later. Have a wonderful night.
You too.
Bye. Okay, so we're going to take the next call real quick. We missed a bunch here. Let's see. Let's just take this one. Boop, boop. And speaker's on. Here we go. And here we go. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
Yes, I am calling for my husband. He's a veteran. He just received the rating of 100% permanent total disabled. And I'm wondering if it's worth him trying to get SSDI.
Well, he should have actually been applying before this to go ahead and basically, get onto SSDI benefits. How long has it been since he last worked?
Well, he actually does a little bit of just like farm work at a farm for 2 days. He deals with they help mentally handicapped people. He just does like a little bit of handiwork there. It's not really stressful. So that's all he's been doing.
Okay, so
that's what he's doing right now.
Okay, gotcha. So I guess what I'm getting at here is, okay, so he's currently working. Is it over the table or under the table work?
It's over the table, but it's like 12 hours a week.
Okay. So yeah, he should definitely. I mean, I'm assuming he's earning under. I'm assuming he's earning under $1,620 per month.
Yes.
Okay. Cool. So yeah, he should be applying years ago. He should. Yes. Absolutely. He absolutely should. Those two checks are rare because they are stackable. So kind of the bottom line here is yes. He absolutely should. Yes, immediately get him rolling to go ahead and do that because that is going to be super duper important for him having additional funds going forward in life.
Okay, and this is the only. I've been watching your videos. I think you're great.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm worried about the bank going through my bank situation. I mean, we're not millionaires, but it just kind of freaks me out.
So, I mean, do you share the same bank account with him?
Yeah, but I don't work.
Okay, so you can't do that in the future. You have to have a separate bank account from him going forward.
Okay.
And bottom line is, if he's having earnings, those earnings, the gross earnings, have to be less than $1,620 per month. And he's going to want to go ahead and what's his current age?
He's 59.
59. Okay, so the bottom line is he's going to be shooting for a grid out type of approval. And his main focus is, what would you say are his top 5 impairments?
Low back disc, degenerative disc, upper back, bone shoulder reconstruction, multiple broken bones. There's a lot of bones and sleep apnea. A lot of nerve problems. And hearing loss. It's a lot. It's a lot of different things.
Okay. So, all right. So what I mean, a lot of these are, special sensory, musculoskeletal, stuff like that. It's going to take a while to kind of explain what would be like, the approach, if you would, to the types of evidence you want to get from the medical providers. But just kind of keeping in mind, you want to be able to show in his particular situation, was he ever a manager with his jobs? Was he ever like a supervisor or anything like that?
Yes, he was supervisor in the Navy. Yes.
Okay. So you're going to want to prove that he was, that he's basically unable to do all of his past work and any other full-time position job. So does he have any failed work attempts within the past 5 years where he tried to work a job and he got fired from the job?
He's actually worked in aviation. He's an aircraft mechanic, and he got let go from Lockheed Martin. Yeah, they let him go.
How long ago?
But it was 10 years.
Okay.
But he has trouble. He also has trouble with the hands. He's had a couple of surgeries on his hands, but he has a very hard time doing mechanic work.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't really do that anymore.
Okay. So what I would say,
give you a call.
Yeah, because
if it's more complex.
Because what you're asking me is, hey, how do you win the claim? And that's a big question. You know what I mean? Like people, like I'd have to take all of his top 5 impairments, and then we have to go through what level of severity is he at for each impairment. Which I figured that out based on medications, type of, surgeries he's had, and essentially what are his lack of movement abilities, like range of motion stuff. And then we go to mental impairments. So the big thing that I would say with the situation is, I need okay, so write these questions down, because these are the questions I need him to be ready to answer tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect. First question, top 5 most severe disabling medical conditions.
Okay.
Next one, when did each begin, and when did each become severe?
Okay.
Okay. Next one, what side effects, what signs, what side effects, what symptoms does he get from each of those impairments? Side effects is more medication, but symptoms is what we're looking for.
Okay.
Okay. Next one. When it comes to, his work history, I need a rundown over the past 5 years of types of jobs basically he's worked over the past 5 years, and what positions he's held.
Okay.
Next one. When it comes to, basically his ability to do functions, I need a list of 10 abilities that he used to be able to do that he can no longer do. So 10 abilities can no longer do. So for example, a function of the laundry, a function of cooking, a function of shopping, a function of paying bills.
Okay.
Okay. Have him ready to go ahead and answer those. Give me a call tomorrow, and then we'll kind of rock and roll from there and get the ball rolling. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Perfect.
Well, thank you for all your help.
Absolutely, madam. You have a wonderful, wonderful day, okay?
Okay, you too. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, so one of the tough things for me to do is to just like take a chunk of impairments, and in a 5 to 7 minute window answer all of basically, you know what I mean, like what, like answer like where do you, how do you tackle the claim? Because one of the things I have to know is like work history, what types of education path you have. There's all these little factors that define, okay, are you going to grid out? Are you going to be a vocational allowance? Are you going to be a listing? It's tough for me to know that in a short period. So, all right. So we got the next caller right here coming through. So let's just go ahead and all right, this one. All right. So hold on. We're just going to take this. Let's see if this one rings through. Hold on. Let's see what we got here. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. Can you hear me okay? Hi, this is Attorney. Again, I think we had the person, then we didn't. Hold on, we have a person calling in right now. I'm just going to take that one now. Let's see if we can get through that one. Here we go. Let's see if we can get this person on the phone. Come on. There's too many people calling in all at once. That's part of the problem. Let me see. Hi, this is.
Has been forwarded to
there you go. Boom. All right, hold on. Let me. This person keeps calling in, so let me see if I can get them on the phone. All right. I could have taken that one, but I just. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
Hey, Walter.
Howdy, madam. How you doing?
Hi. Good. My name is. Let's see. I'll just put Patricia.
Howdy.
I'm watching the video.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just watching the video. Quick question.
Sure.
So I got disabled SSDI in 2020. Going back to 2017.
Okay.
I went all the way to the ALJ. And I'm watching your show, but I don't know if it's me on the show or not.
Oh, it's you. Yeah. If you mute the other show, like we're live right now. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. I won't keep you too long, real quick.
Yeah.
So I get disabled for mental and physical.
Okay.
My hands, I have bilateral arthritis, and I had knee surgery on both. And it was a failed arthroplasty on my right, so I have limited function.
Okay.
And my mental impairments, bipolar, anxiety, borderline personality disorder, and PTSD.
Okay.
So I never regained full function on my right hand. I'm very limited with fingering, writing, grasping, all that. And the judge gave it all, with limited, I'm not going to say this, expected recovery, none. So I'm thinking, so my question is about, I'm 5 years out on disability, probably November. If I get a CDR, if I said that right, I just want to know, now this is going to sound crazy, but with all of that, I'm just going to tell you, my legs are pretty freaking strong. I can't do things with my hands like I would like to, even cooking, cleaning. I struggle with all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But my legs are strong, and I don't know how it looks going to the gym. I don't do anything with my hands, plus I wear a hand brace. And I just went through a review for my private insurance company, and that was easy. All my doctors gave them everything they wanted, psychiatry, about my hands. But if I get a CDR, is Social Security going to look at it differently on my activity level?
What? Okay,
Like
so have you, through a therapist or some sort of doctor specialist, been given, the direction to go ahead and work out?
No, not officially.
Okay.
They know, though, like I'll talk about it, especially like in therapy.
Yeah, but
no,
did
I don't
they
know if I've
order? Like, what did they? So, okay.
No, just my limitations with my hands for physical.
Okay. So, and the reason why I say this is that if you have an order from a medical specialist that you need to go and do certain stretches, you need to go and work out, and you're at the gym, then doctor's order. You were specifically put in that direction to go achieve that thing, which gets you out of the immediate trouble of what you're worried about.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds fair enough.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna extend it one more time. I'm pushing it now, but I do love hiking. It goes with, like I said, the ability to walk and go to the gym. And I have been going about twice a week.
Sure.
And my pushing it, I don't have any more hobbies that I can't do any crap with my hands. It's
Sure.
tough, and I literally could never sustain employment. There's just no way. No. I have tried. I would love to go back to work. But that's kind of mentally, too, that sets me straight, keeps me somewhat well. I'm currently seeing psychiatry weekly. I'm doing EMDR right now. But I don't know how they would look at it. No, I didn't know. I don't know how to, should I ask the doctor to try to get it ordered for that too, just for activity-wise, that it's okay?
There's not going to be any doctor that says go hiking.
No.
Because remember, they're looking for specific therapy-based, like, using rubber bands, using, it's that kind of situation. So, okay, let me ask you this. Because I always get in trouble with people who do hiking, bicycling, mountain climbing. Let me tell you, I've been nipped on that one. So, yeah. So let me ask you this, like, when it comes to, basically this situation, are you taking photos while you're hiking and posting them? Are people taking photos of you?
No.
Okay.
No. Look, I did, a couple people did incidentally.
Yeah.
But no, I'm very, my social media has been nothing because I've been disabled. No, very, very limited. It's only Facebook, but nothing of mine is on there, and it's private. I know they could get it, but no.
Okay.
No. Like I said, I really honestly can't do it. That was my hands, and it sucks because you can look great and still have, all these problems. And they don't know what my life is like when I'm not doing an activity like that. Just get out for a couple hours.
Yeah.
Other than that, I'm home. I can't even keep a friendship. I can't even. It's a long story, but I'm more worried about the physicality, because I think I really need that for mental health too.
Right.
But I also don't want, I do not. I can't work. So it's my livelihood to keep my benefits. I'm 59. I'll be 60 next year.
Sure.
And I'm a retired nurse of 30 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
And any advice, I'll be, if I have to stop, I will. I'll just have to not go.
When you say hiking, do you mean competitively or no?
No, I just go. No, I'll hit small, small mountains. Nothing huge. I have a local one here, only an hour away, and small. It's nothing exciting, and I'll do that.
So when you say small, and see, I've learned throughout the years to ask, what does a small mountain mean to you? I've learned, yeah.
Yeah, good point. No, I'll tell you, it's 1,000-footer. So I'll climb, say, 500-600 feet over a couple of hours.
Okay.
And the scheme of it, they're not the 4,000-footers in New Hampshire. I'm in Rhode Island.
Okay.
Not those.
Okay. So just to be clear, when you go hiking, are you using any assistive devices, or are you just, you're hitting it?
Well, I usually have a day pack, so I don't, because my hands aren't good, so I can't do all the strap crap.
Right.
Oh, that's sort of funny. I'll throw, whatever I need, a bottle of water, whatever, because I don't need all the essentials because I'm not going out for hours. And then sometimes, depending on how rock and rooty it is, I'll use a stick in my left hand because that's pretty much my good hand.
Okay.
But that's it. Yeah. But I can't on the right.
Okay. So, okay. There's no doctor that's going to approve that activity of mountain climbing.
Right.
Right.
Correct.
Cool.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
Yeah.
I do know why I'm calling.
I know, but and I know you want me to be like, yeah, if you just use this product, and I know how it is,
Yeah.
No,
I know I can't work, and I just want to make sure that I'm on the up and up. I have nothing to hide. I just wonder if at this point, should I stop doing it? I think I've been watching. I know I have. You're the reason I think I got my disability in the first place.
Oh, good. Good.
And now in 2020, I think you're amazing. And
thank you.
You even called me back. No, really, you help a lot of people, and we need it. I know I need it.
Yeah.
I'm grateful for you.
Thank you.
Really, you're helping so many people. And I know it's kind of a silly question, but honestly, I can't work, and I also will miss my hobby, but I've given up everything else. So if that's one more, so be it. And I can ask about my legs at the gym, because you would think they want you to stay as strong as possible, or at least do something.
So a suggestion, you have a room at your house where nobody can see you, right?
Yep.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Okay, so maybe the TV screens with the wraparound, with the treadmill,
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. That sounds good to me, because I feel like a CDR might be in my future the way you're talking on these other videos. And it sucks. You have to live like that. It's awful. So
well,
I thought the same thing. I just wanted to hear from you.
Well, the thing too to kind of keep in mind is that, nobody really knew about these CDRs with the CDI unit investigations attached to them until I started to do a bunch of videos on them. And then people kind of woke up to the idea and realized there's all kinds of criminal activity, but I don't think I'm doing criminal activity. And then they get hit with one, and then, and this is how it happens. So right across the screen, we'll get a PayPal or a Zelle or whatever of $250. And then we'll immediately get a call from somebody with the attached contract in the email saying they need to talk to me, immediately. And, for lawyers, immediately is within the next 3 days. That's how immediately works for us. So usually within 2 days, I'm doing this review. Boy, let me tell you, I have seen ones where I was like, well, obviously they're coming after you, obviously, but then I've also seen ones where I was like, oh man, you got nipped, normally nobody would care, but you got nipped, this is one of those where you would get nipped because somebody would take a photo, they'd have a company do a scan system on, facial structure. It would tag to you inside a profile. And then all of a sudden, there you are hiking Mount Little Wrist, and basically, but I've learned, you probably noticed, the other question I wanted to ask you was, do you do swimming as well?
No.
Okay.
No. Nothing else. No.
Okay.
Literally, it sounds funny, but literally getting a swimsuit off wet and
Sure.
changing my clothes is very difficult in my hands.
Okay.
It's funny. I don't want to deal with it. It's too much for my hands.
Yeah.
But
I mean, like,
whenever I'll slip on clothes.
yeah. Oh man, I've been on the phone too long with you, but I'll catch you later. You have a wonderful, wonderful night. You know. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye bye. You. Thank you as well. Bye bye. There was a person who kept calling. I'm gonna call this person back because they were just like calling. And literally I'd have to like go like this on the screen to get to the next person. Let me just call them real quick, see how they're doing, and then we'll go from there. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
Yes, my question is, I guess I had a situation at work. I was on short-term disability, and now they have me on long disability through work, and because they can't I'm more or less not working for the company anymore. But I was told I had to go and get medical. And while my disability is in process, because I don't have medical.
Well, I mean, yeah, you got to go get medical treatment for your impairments. Like, what are your top 3 impairments?
I have anxiety disorder, fibromyalgia, which paralyzes me, and I have depression. And just recently, I had something pop in my left foot. I have like a lump now underneath my foot, and I'm having a hard time walking.
So, okay. So, all right.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. What medical treatment are you currently getting for these impairments?
I see a psychiatrist. I see a psychiatrist, psychologist, and a pain specialist. Excuse me.
What is your current age?
I am 56, and I'll be 57.
When it comes to the Gotcha. When it comes to the treatment that you're getting, like, what are they currently working on? What are they doing?
I just trying to alleviate my pain. I've done like the injections. I've done so many MRIs, and because my husband and we got a divorce. I left him and I moved back home to Vegas. I have no medical, and normally I would get injections or they'll do MRIs to see what's going on. Now my doctor's saying I might have bone spurs in my feet. I don't know, and I don't have medical because it completely canceled out because of my divorce, and I'm kind of, I was told by my lawyer that I need to go down and get on Medicaid or state Medicaid or whatever. And then Vegas got hacked. So our medical and DHS and all that got all hacked over here, the government sites, and they've been down.
Okay.
So I'm kind of like out here in the middle of nowhere, literally in the desert.
Okay. So it's tough for you to basically get to a medical facility to go ahead and work with you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have any money because I've used all my money. I've had to go into my retirement.
Sure, yeah.
And use my retirement to survive.
Right.
And I'm getting low, and it's like, great. Now I'm not gonna have any retirement because I keep having to use my retirement to take care of medical, living expenses. And I'm trying to find a job that allows me to work from home, and that's like almost impossible. And so I figured going to the state, they had a huge fair here for the state, and they said, oh, but you can't get on there to apply because the sites are down because of the hacking. It's like, wow, I'm just, can you say a while after while? And I'm lost. I really am lost. And I'm kind of like at the end of my rope, but I'm really, and then you popped up on my phone and I knew it was God.
Yeah, sure. Well, I mean, so I guess this is what I would say. So you're kind of in the middle of nowhere. It's hard for you to get to a location where they can treat you, do new medical treatment, therapies, things like that. Have you considered moving to like a friend's or family members that's closer to medical where you could utilize the emergency room more often?
I mean, I'm living with my son. I'm in Vegas.
So like you're in Vegas, not like some
Las Vegas.
So yeah, I mean, then you got every option available to you. So then, all right. So Vegas is filled with, basically clinics. It's filled with emergency room options. It's filled with a lot of stuff. Because to be fair,
but I don't want to go. I don't have medical though.
Well, but that's the point. When you apply, if you're ultimately found disabled, then for the most part, they'll cover a lot of, interactions that you've had for medical treatment requirements and requests. Not going backwards in time before, but, going forward. So like you kind of have to play this thing like you intend to win it. So that means going to the hospital and basically, essentially getting the medical treatment to show how impaired you are. But not only that, you also kind of have to realize that it's not a game of them magically making you better. If they could, you'd already be working. It is, however, a game of creating medical evidence that would show that you are so impaired, so disabled that you'd be unable to go ahead and function in a work environment. So, all right, let's do this because I'm getting whooped on this side with incoming calls. Let's do this.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Give me a call tomorrow during basically during the regular 9 to 5. If I'm working, I'm doing a bunch of those private hours tomorrow, but give me a call tomorrow and we'll catch up. And if you get back office, have them basically do a write-up on you, like a case write-up to figure out like what's good, what's not good, stuff like that. And then from there, we'll go ahead and catch up and I'll go through some of the details, but just be ready to answer specifically all the start times of when your impairments began and when they became severe and how they became severe.
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
Thank you for your time.
Absolutely. You have a wonderful, wonderful night, okay?
Thank you, sir. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead. That person called me over and over and over again. Not the one I was just on the phone with, but the one thereafter that I answered. Okay, here we go. Okay. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead. Yep, go ahead. Yep. Okay, go ahead. It's really tough to hear you. Am I on like a speaker or what's going on there? Not much better. Go ahead and talk a little.
I've been employed in the Marine for the past 20 years. I currently have a problem disc.
Okay. So here's the thing. I'm gonna call you right back because it's just we got like a super bad signal. Let me call you real quick and we'll try it from there. Perfect. So sounds good. Catch up with you soon. Okay. Bye. Okay, calling him back. Good. So the phone connection is still not good. It's like super blurry. Oh no! Can you hear me? Okay. Man, it's super crackly and bad. Do you have a different phone that we can do the call from?
after calling back.
Okay, let's do this. I'm going to take another call. Then you try giving me a call back from that other phone, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Okay.
Perfect. Sounds good, good sir. I'll catch you a little bit later. Okay, bye-bye. Hi, this is Attorney Walter Hnot. We are live on YouTube. Remember to use a fake name throughout this process. What is your legal question? Go ahead.
Yes, I'd like to know, can you explain to the listeners what an overpayment is?
Yeah. Do you want me to like a specific type of overpayment? Because there's a lot of different types of overpayments. Like,
yes, LTD, LTD. You know, the payment when you get approved, and it's a payback, like how it all works, how much they take, that kind of thing. Can you tell me everything you know about it, please?
Okay, so basically, I guess I'll start with like the main basic functionals with this thing. So LTD for everybody is long-term disability insurance benefits. When you become disabled, there's an insurance company that will cover you in the private sector, which is kind of like the government sector that you pay into all your life with FICA taxes, called SSDI. So LTDs are kind of like SSDI benefits. Some of those LTD programs are until you're found disabled on SSDI benefits. Some of them are for the rest of your life. Good sir, in your situation, are we talking about an LTD for the rest of your life, or are we talking about LTD that stops once you're found disabled? And then it sounds like
they won't tell me. When I ask them how much I got to pay back, they said, we don't know. And, I signed a contract, so I guess I'm going to have to get a lawyer to look at the contract, I guess.
So so you haven't even been able to get a copy of the policy, correct?
Yeah, I have a copy of it, but like I say, I called them personally and asked them what kind of money do I have to pay you back, and they couldn't answer me.
So they don't even know, is what you're saying?
Correct. They said that was somebody else that, does that, and they don't handle that. So that's why I was calling you to see. I mean, I'm sure you've heard of this before.
Yeah. So
Or you know how it works, right?
It's just kind of weird that they wouldn't be like, hey, you owe us this. Because,
I totally agree. Agree, but I'm telling you the truth.
So basically the first thing you need is a copy of the policy, because then it outlines what the offset policy or subtraction of SSDI benefit policy is, what they're allowed to go ahead and not have to pay you, or what you have to pay them back. Once you're found disabled, they calculate against your back pay, essentially how much you owe them from your back pay, and they will bug the crap out of you to get that money back. So the main thing that you kind of have to keep in mind with this situation is you got to get a copy of the policy, find out what the offset provision says, and then get a number from them, and then make sure it makes sense for how many months that you actually got paid back pay. Yeah.
Sorry, I do have one other question, if you don't mind.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Could I claim bankruptcy on that, not have to pay them back?
Well, that's an interesting question. Could you claim bankruptcy?
Last time we spoke, you said something about a 632. I don't know what that is, but I don't want to stack questions.
Yeah, waiver or reduction of overpayment for purposes of whatever's owed. But realistically, this is owed to the LTD carrier. So not to the SSA. So you wouldn't use a 632 because the SSA would use that. You need a different form for the LTD carrier. So I don't think so. Okay. So here's the problem you're going to run into. What you're saying is, hey, I don't have money, but the SSA is going to pay you back pay. So do you already have the back pay money or no?
Negative. I haven't been approved yet even.
So it's coming in the future.
When I went to Social Security, they told me a figure of $3,018 is what they'll give me if I get approved. And that was like 6 months ago when I went there.
And then, of course, my LTD payment's $34.66. So when I called the company that has the LTD, they explained to me that if I only get $3,018, that the rest of the money will come from them. At that point, I asked, well, how much do I have to pay you back? At the time I went there, it was $18,000 in back pay. Now it's probably about $30,000 in back pay. But I wasn't sure how it works if they move my onset date up to 55, because I'll be 55 in a few months from now.
Yeah, but then you'll kill off all your back pay. Yeah, you'll nuclear it.
Yeah, if I get no back pay, does that go away? Because I have no back pay, and why would I want to get it just to pay them back? You know what I mean?
Yeah, they're going to be a little pissed at you. When did you stop working and earning over $1,620 per month?
That was back May 15th was my onset date.
15 of 2024. Okay.
24.
I mean, they're going to be a little chapped because. So here's the thing: LTD carriers usually have an attorney that is their buddy, and when I say buddy, there's an under the table deal that allows that attorney to go ahead and work on, disability claims, and that attorney will tell them whenever it goes through how much it was, all that stuff. I don't have any of those deals with LTD carriers because frankly, I'm an idiot and I just keep doing the ethical thing, and that seems to be the way to stay poor. But
you're talking about the lawyer that they give you mean?
Yeah, like, do you have an attorney?
No, I have my own private lawyer.
Okay, good.
Their lawyer. I already got my own private lawyer beforehand.
Yeah, but so normally that's how they snooker you. So to find out exactly when, and then that attorney fights to get as much back pay as possible. Which,
See, I have my own private one now. And I had my own private one way before they didn't even know that. And then when they forced me to get a lawyer, at that point I told them I already have my own lawyer.
Right.
And
Okay.
I said, I don't want yours. I have my own. So
Yeah.
that's, I'm sorry. I didn't want to interrupt. I just want you to understand what I'm telling you.
So my question to you would be, so you haven't been found disabled yet. You basically, how many denials have you had so far?
I've had 0 denials. It's been like 16 months. And I went to, the last time I talked to my DDS person, and I'm actually a Maryland resident, and my case was transferred to Delaware, and then my worker is from Philadelphia. So that's kind of crazy, isn't it? But anyways, she said, "Oh, you got headaches." I said, "No, I never wrote that on the paper." And I said, "I don't have headaches." And she says, "Well, we're going to send you to a doctor." So I went to their doctor, and when I called them back, they said that it should be 3 months. I'll get a decision. So, the way I'm looking at it is I really don't want them to make a decision until I'm 55, but
you can do that, but your attorney's not going to like it, but you could do that.
Right.
You can submit an AOD, amended AOD, amended alleged onset date form. You can do that.
I mean, what do you mean? Like, if they approve me, so my lawyer wants it to take as long as possible, right? So he gets as much money as possible, correct?
Most of them do. Yeah. I mean, I've done it the dumb way of trying to win them up front, and I got to tell you, it's a way to stay poor. So I don't recommend, but yeah, I would say this, your lawyer wants to get all the way back to the month after the month in which case you worked. And then if it can last longer and longer and longer, he'll let it last longer and longer. So, that's kind of the way structurally, because then it will be, but if you're getting 3,000 something per month of potential actual monthly pay, it's not going to take long for you to hit the max attorney fee on that. So I would imagine the attorney knows that he should be pushing, so I guess what I would say is this. I mean, you're going to get a decision, but if you don't submit to the SSA an amended alleged onset date, there's no way to do the nuclear option, which is to wipe out the back pay.
I have an onset date already. of May 15th, 2024.
Yeah, I mean, that's month after month of last work. Yeah, so.
Yeah, when I go to my website from Social Security, it says May 15th, 2024. So it's been over a year.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
I still haven't had an answer from them. And I mean, that's crazy. So.
I mean, so has the DDS manager reviewed at this point, or are you still okay? So questions to ask the DDS rep. Have you been sent in to quality control?
No.
Okay.
I don't know yes or no on that because I haven't asked that question, but that's great. I'll write this down.
Yeah.
What you're telling me.
So first one is, have you been sent to quality control? Next one. Next one. Has the DDS manager reviewed the DDE yet?
The DDE?
Yep, the DDE.
Which is, what is that?
It's a form that DDS uses to kind of put their thoughts and opinions in a summarized area.
Okay, that's a DDE, right?
Yeah.
The first one is quality control, correct?
Yep, quality control is where it's going when they're like checking to make sure the decision's a cool beans situation. You know, they're on board, feds are on board, everybody's on board.
We got both of those wrote down. Anything else, Walter? I really appreciate your help, sir.
I guess the big question I would ask is where are they leaning with the claim? Are they leaning towards vocational allowance or a grid out? I mean, I don't know what your impairment severity is, so you might be a listing. So I might ask listing, grid out, or vocational allowance.
Yeah, and the thing is, like with my lawyer, like they haven't done absolutely anything for me other than take my information. That's all they've done. Like they haven't met with me. I've offered to go visit with them.
Yeah.
You know, like the questions, the answers that you're telling me, why should my lawyer be telling me what you're telling me?
Honestly,
is that the norm, or is that just...
It's the norm.
That's what the court goes to court.
Like, honestly, I'm an idiot because I help people so much that I am poor because of it.
Job, right?
Yeah. So like I've found a way to constantly have to worry about payroll, constantly have to worry about, you know,
don't
like
you
that.
Still get 9,200 though?
Most of mine don't. Most of mine never make it to 9,200. That's the problem.
How much money has to be back paid for you to get 92?
It depends because, well, I mean, no, you can calculate that because it would just be, it's 25% of whatever that total amount would be. So
38 grand, I guess, right?
Something. Hold on. Let me see if I can. What amount? Let me see real quick. How would okay? What amount would?
92 is 18, and 18 is 36, and 200 is 36, 400 maybe, something like that.
36,800.
Yeah.
So yeah. So bottom line is, because it's 25, just multiply a couple times over. But the point is, with this gig, I guess. Yeah. So here's the deal. Like, you're asking me, hey, why doesn't my attorney check in with this, figure this out, blah 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 blah. Most attorneys don't like to do a full claim review at initial filing or reconsideration. They only like to do it right before an ALJ hearing. Why? Because it's expensive in time to actually figure out everything that's going on. And then some claimants call in once a month. They're like, hey, did you do a deep dive on my claim? So a deep dive takes about 6 to 8 hours to read through everything. So there's no real way to like deep dive once a month. You get to deep dive maybe once every year and a half. That's realistically where it falls. The main thing you want to know is like how to improve the evidence that you have, like where where is it at? Where is the claim at? And so the thing I think that's the most important question that claimants never really ask their attorneys is, what is the problem that I need to fix? And they just never ask their attorneys that. Some of my clients call up all the time, and then I have to go look inside the records, see what the recent medical report was, and figure out, are they on track, are they not? But the usual problems that happen are doctors that are not writing down the proper language, doctors that are, under, scoring how, they're impaired they are with like a mild, moderate, or a moderate to severe instead of an actual severe notation. There's also, certain tests and certain things that claimants will do. And, sometimes claimants will do like these crazy things. They'll study up on how to beat the test. And I know this sounds just crazy, but they'll study on how to beat the test. And the worse they do on the test, the more likely they'll be found disabled, and they'll just sabotage their claim. I don't know why that's so common, but people sabotage their claims in different ways. So, but I guess what I would say is this: when it comes to, for example, your type of situation, look, you got a good age. You're in the grid out territory. You're really working on why vocationally you wouldn't be able to do your past work and other types of jobs in the national economy. And you want to be able to show why you wouldn't be able to do sedentary, sitting, or light work. Like, that's your main focus, your main goal with this situation. So
I got the things that you told me was A is quality control, B, DDE, and was it anything else?
Did the DDE get reviewed by the manager yet? Because if the DDE has been reviewed by the manager, you're in prep for basically going to the quality control review board. That board,
So,
yeah. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
If you were in my shoes and it goes to court and it's a chance of me fighting to get the back money, that's why I'm trying to figure out how much I got to pay back to them, because I'm trying to, I'm on the fence whether or not to fight it, because I could get denied if they approve me above 55 with no back pay. If I got to pay all the money back to them, what do I care? You know what I mean? I don't care if they get their money back or not.
Right.
I mean,
yeah. And I mean, you
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So why fight it if that's the case? And that's why I'm trying to find out,
Well, the reason why is that sometimes you want to have the date of disability as far back as possible for Medicare purposes, or to prove for some other program that you were disabled during that time period, because sometimes there's other legal things that you want to hand in hand with it. So
the 10 years that I worked at that company,
yeah,
and I'm not going to tell you what company it is.
Yeah.
The 10 years that I worked there, okay, I was on short term for the same problem with my back for like 5 times within a 10-year period.
Yeah.
And this time it finally went out. And when I talked to the DBS worker, she says, we're not worried about all that because you were working then and you went back to work then. But why? And in the court case, if it goes to court, shouldn't I bring that information up that I had, the problem got worse and worse. I mean, I got like 6 MRIs with the time frame, and it's getting worse as I keep going, So why would the DBS worker only want 5 years back and not my whole history?
Of work or medical conditions?
Medical condition.
Well, because at some point you got to cut it off. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people are like, they're going to do the best job they can to read everything. No. It's a specific limited time period that they're looking at, because remember, it's either going to be.
Okay, so that's my question. Would my previous medical history of being on short term, would that help my case to show that I've had existing problems?
Yes.
That's all. I was just wondering about that,
Yeah.
I guess that's a decision that the lawyer has to make, right? I'll let him know about it. And if he wants to see more info, great. But, I wish I knew you when I went to get a lawyer.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, if I change it now, I'm going to owe them, and it's just you probably wouldn't recommend going to you.
Well, I mean, you're about to get a decision, right? So you're at 12 months in, right? They said 3 months. They're never really on with their time limits. So what you got to do is find out, did they already send it to the DES manager for DDE review? If the DDE was reviewed and approved, then it's going to be sent up for quality control. If it's a QC, then you're basically going to get a decision within the next, couple of weeks. And then once you get a decision, then you can kind of go from there. But, what you can ask them is, well, you'll know if it went to quality control, then that's a likely approval. If it went to the local field office, then it's a likely denial.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, thank you for your time, and appreciate, and I really appreciate you doing this service for the people calling in. And when I get my settlement, I'll send you a little.
Well, no worries. The big thing is if you could throw some stars up on the company page, always super duper appreciate that. Because it's a battle.
Are you from New York or are you from Florida?
So I'm from the tri-state area. I don't sound like a Floridian. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm New Jersey. I grew up on a horse farm in New Jersey, but I competed against a bunch of. So the school I went to, which is why I sound like a cross between basically a Christian, a Jew, a New Yorker, and a New Jerseyer. The reason why is because I competed against some of the top students in the Northeast. I went to the third most difficult lower middle and high school on basically the East Coast of the United States. So the reason why I always seem a little bit of like a New Yorker, a little bit of a New Jersey type, but then also a Jewish Christian background is that that's what I grew up around. It's just that's what it was. And and I actually was not. So my sister was really good at following rules and following class procedure. I was not. So she got admitted to these super high-end schools. I was then admitted after her, because she went there. But I was always a little bit of a degenerate because I hated following rules, which is ironic that I became an attorney. But the intelligence was there, so I was able to do it anyways. But that's always kind of been my story. Like college, my story. My master's degree, same story. My doctorate, Juris Doctorate, the professional doctorates those are a bitch. Same gig. When I would get there, I would be like, oh, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. And then by, usually the second year or third year, or whatever I was doing, or towards the end of the program, I was the one that was getting the best grades. I always had like a ramp up period where once I figured out what the hell was going on and how to do it, then I could turn the engine full bore. But
you gotta warm the oil up first.
I got to get some RPMs. Yeah.
I used to work for a company out of Northburg and 88th Street.
Sure.
Yeah. The 5 Italian brothers and then APA. The owner of that company actually bought William Penn's mansion in Pennsylvania.
Wow.
And he had racehorses and stuff.
Wow.
But if you look up the history of APA,
see
the horse farm he bought and all that. So.
Wow. Holy cow. Yeah. I mean, I grew up on the poorer version of farm. There was like, I was the guy, like we'd have rock parties and I have to go into the field and pick up all the rocks and throw them into a pile. That was a rock party. So,
well, thank you for your time, and it's great talking with you. And really appreciate it.
Absolutely, good sir. Well, you have a wonderful, wonderful night, okay?
You bet. You too. Take care.
Thank you, sir. Catch you later. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So real quick, I want to do a shout out to Diana. She did a $2 donation, so I super appreciate that. She's also been a member with us for a very, very long time. That's going to be, and I know people are calling in right now. I see the phone. As you got to understand, I've been doing this for an hour, and I did 2 shows before this, so I'm a little bit beat up. I will catch up with you guys basically tomorrow. We will be doing a video. All right. So I'm going to tell you a little bit of a secret about tomorrow's video. And this is important because this is spicy. So I actually got a chance to talk to a criminal that basically would target Social Security recipients. And he would go through the factors. I'm using like my education terminology to kind of explain what he would do. He didn't explain it like this, but he would give me the factors that he would use to basically target people from what he could find online. And so tomorrow I'm going to actually go through, and I've kind of like organized it into a point system. What are the factors that criminals use to target Social Security recipients when it comes to all kinds of stuff? Basically theft of benefits, all kinds of fraud, all kinds of scams against them, stuff like that. And so it was not what I expected, but I learned a lot. I don't think he realizes that I've now built it into a point system of how they would, how like they would go ahead and assess somebody. They wouldn't do it so much that way, but like, my brain academia model, I created basically a point system of what makes a person more likely as a fragile individual to be targeted by criminals. So we're going to be doing that video. And I'll kind of explain to you guys what things to watch out for, what things to post online that you shouldn't be posting online and stuff like that. So I will catch you all a little bit later. You have a wonderful, wonderful night. Please remember to like and subscribe. And if I helped you, please, please, please head over to Disability Resolution Law Firm or Disability Resolution Florida and throw some stars up there on the company Google page. You don't have to, but it's totally up to you. I will catch you all a little bit later. And please remember to be nice to each other. Also, I do those private sessions. So if you need more time with me, you can always call me and do a private session for 30 minutes or an hour. Or if you need representation, I always forget to advertise that aspect of the law firm. If you need me to represent you for disability benefits, then give me a call, 9 to 5. But bottom line is, I will catch you a little bit later. And tomorrow I will be live again to keep answering questions. So sleep well, have a wonderful night, and we'll rock and roll from there. Thank you so much. Bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.